All right, good evening, everyone. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. Every now and then we speak to current and former students to get like a progress report to see how they are doing, ask some questions to give pointers to the new students coming up into the program. Today we have Mr. Richard Reese. He's doing pretty well.
Sir,
How you doing, Mr. Reese?
how are you doing, brother?
All right, all right. So we were talking on the phone earlier, and I said, well, let's get off the phone. Let's put this on a Zoom so other people can benefit.
Right, right.
So take me. Let's circle back to what we were talking about, right? So we were talking about you because you had some questions about dispatching and questions about the whole process and things like that. So um, how has it been going for you as far as this?
Well, right now, quote, we're on a quote unquote recession. So, freight, especially for certain type equipment types, dry van is real low. Reefer is doing good. Even flatbed is kind of low right now. So, it's rough, to really strategize and, make those numbers weekly that you normally used to do. You got to think wiser now, plan ahead, do a lot of research, market research.
Okay. And where are you getting your market research? Where are you getting your analytics? Where are you finding data to make these types of determinations?
So keeping up with the if you watch DAT every Wednesday morning, they have like a podcast thing and they talk about the market, the analytics, the numbers, what's going to be happening in the future, what happened in the past, always comparing. And yeah, so pretty much, social media, news, freight sonar, basically, that, and a lot of trucking podcasts.
Okay. Okay. So now I had to ask you a question because when you first get started in dispatching, you mainly your first hurdle, I guess you could say obstacle is getting the carriers. You can't dispatch unless you have a carrier, right?
Right.
So what's the most effective method that you have discovered for you specifically of getting carriers? What do you do to get carriers?
For me, I would say it's cold calling, and cold calling is the worst and the best thing because it's marketing sales, and you know you got to be sharp. You can't be passive. And dealing with the brokers, not all brokers are the same, but some of these brokers are wolves, and sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, and that doesn't mean to be disrespectful or belligerent, but sometimes you have to be aggressive, and you have to have a lot of information and be wise of what you're doing and where you're going, where you're picking up. um you know be careful of fast ones. You can't be so happy of just booking a load. You gotta, okay, what's the pickup time, what's the drop off time, what's the weight, what's the commodity, because some brokers might just skip over that, and then you'll book a load, and then at the end of the day you'll be like, wow, I could have got more for this because I'm carrying diamonds and this guy's paying me $1,500. you know
Right, right. So
so
the value of the commodity can
yeah, that plays a role in the rate too, what you're hauling and the weight. So certain commodities pay more than others.
correct, correct. So now once you get so what's getting the carriers, your method is cold calling. There are others, truck stops, social media, things of that nature. But once you get a carrier, do you find it now? What's the experience of booking the loads from? Is it a challenge booking loads for them, or was that the hard part, getting the carriers and then booking the loads is a little bit easier because you got everything in front of you and stuff like that. You got all your requirements, the profile of the carrier and things like that. What's your
It depends because hard part number one is cold calling and having a successful call. And then hard part number two is can you work with this driver? Not everyone has different personalities. Just because someone's a business owner doesn't mean they're doing good business. Does the owner operator understand the market? Because then you have some owner operators who won't let you do your job as a dispatcher. They're looking at the load board the same time you're looking on the load board. I had a driver show me, hey, this load is good. What about this one? And I'm calling, and it's a broker that barely speaks English or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But having owner operators, get too much involved. Because I will always explain to an owner operator, it's like, when you see a football team, the owner is not getting in the way of the coach. The coach is doing his job. The owner is doing his job. So me as the dispatcher, look at me as the coach. Let me do my job. Let me call the plays. I know what I'm doing. And you might have some owner operators or fleet owners might look at the first load and be like, hey, this is not a good load, or might have some complaints about it. You got to let them know. You can't look at each load like that. Look at the whole week, or look at the first 2 weeks, or the whole month, and then look, judge it on an average base, because the first load might not be so good, but that could be due to your location. And I'm trying to, swing you into a hot market so you can really make some money, because that's how you have to strategize with going over the road.
So what is a hot market? What is that? What is a
hot market is a market that has more freight than trucks. So if I'm sending you to Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis is a hot market because Memphis is known for paying good for outbound freight, $3 or more, and they always have freight. They're for flatbed, reefer, dry van. So that would be considered a hot market, because if I send you to Memphis, you won't get stuck. You'll find a load and you'll get a load paying decent money. Memphis has more freight loads than they have trucks. So that would be considered a hot market. Opposite of that would be an area like Florida, which has more trucks than they have loads. That's a bad market or a cold market. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what you're saying is the load to truck ratio
would make that, that area hot or cold. So if they have more freight than they have trucks, then, you have the upper hand.
Right.
But
if they have more trucks than freight,
you don't have the upper hand. They'll take you for a loose goose, like how they do in Florida. They'll give you $1 a mile,
Right. So what else? What else are you? So you've been, how long have you been dispatching?
I don't even tell some of the drivers this, because I'm afraid they might say, you haven't been doing it long enough, because some people can be small-minded like that. I've been dispatching. I joined your course in, I think, late January or early February, and it hasn't even been a year yet, going on a year, because we're not too far from January right now.
Correct. And how many carriers are you dispatching currently?
Right now is the season is slow right now. So right now I'm just dispatching 3 carriers. One carrier has 2 trucks, and the other carrier is willing to give me more trucks, but they just onboarded. So it's like a test run right now. But I booked 2 loads for them so far. They're happy. Everything is good. So I'm just keeping a positive energy that, they'll stay. Because in business, you're going to run through things as this, no different from someone as a real estate owning houses. Some of your residents might stay there long. Some of them might not stay long. You got people lying on the carrier packet that their numbers are good, and then when you do your own background check, the numbers really ain't good. So you're going to run into all kind of stuff, so it's part of the business, and you just got to keep going. There are people who will sign on and everything will be good, so you can't let that discourage you. But people play games sometimes, and you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah. In your peak season, or in times when things were, how many carriers did you dispatch at the most at your peak?
At my peak, I had 8 trucks. I had a fleet down south in Memphis. I had 8 trucks at one time dispatching. Wow. Yeah, and it was good. I managed it. Everything was good, and yeah, I learned a lot. That was actually when I first started, because right after I had got the load and you were doing the contest, I started not too long after that. I started working with a fleet, and yeah, she provided me 8 trucks.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now, this is from your perspective, because you came in, you're barely a year at this point, like 10 months or 9 months, and for those coming in new, who are brand new to the in the same position you were in back in January, what kind of advice or information you should advise to new students? What do you think?
Advice: try to gain as much knowledge. Study constantly. It depends, because dispatching is not for everyone. So if you're really into it, only time will tell. So there's times, I'm going to be honest, there's times where I have doubts in my mind, and I feel like, is this for me? Or sometimes, you're like, I don't even feel like doing this anymore. But to be honest, I really enjoy dispatching. And I would say, it'd have to be something that you really want to do or enjoy doing. Because if you're just doing it just for some quick cash, you're not going, because I'm not doing it for quick cash. And so
Yeah. So,
it's not.
so would you rather do the dispatching, have your time freedom, or would you rather be working a 9-to-5 job?
I rather the dispatching, because you have the opportunity to, control what you make. You eat what you kill.
Right.
So it's like with a job, no matter how hard you work, not knocking down a job, and that this doesn't go for all jobs, because some jobs are better than being an entrepreneur. But it depends on what type of job you're doing. So some jobs you might work your tail off and you're still getting the same pay rate. Whereas in with the dispatching and logistics, the harder I work, I can see that, coming back with revenue.
So what you just described, I call occupational insanity, where you work a job your tail off, but you never reach that glass ceiling. You're never going to make more than a certain amount. So
Right.
that's occupational insanity, and it's really insane when the person who's doing it don't even realize that they're going through
Right.
that. So,
Right.
but this right here, the sky's the limit as long as you can handle all the trucks that you can dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you can't handle all the trucks you're dispatching, you can scale your business and hire other dispatchers under your company to even grow it more. Right.
Right.
But yeah,
There's so many things in this business logistics. Like there's so many niches. You have people buying land for parking right now. Truck drivers have an issue, especially in New York. Is a big thing where the mayor is just taking all the trucks off the street that are parked. That we need parking out here in New York. Anyone in New York want to buy some land? You might want to put some trucks on it. You'd make a killing right now, especially with the warehousing too. Buy land for warehousing, store freight, become a shipper.
Yep, there you go. Any other final advice for the new? Because we're talking specifically about dispatching. So those coming in new in the beginning stages. Any other advice for any new students up and coming?
Okay, so if you don't really love it, you can use it for a stepping stone to do what you want to do, or use it to get where you want to get. If you enjoy it, it could be very lucrative. You just have to be wise about what you do. Study. So I would say study a lot and get a lot of information. The more information you have, the better off you can be negotiating rates, dispatching, know where to send your trucks, and stand firm. Don't be too passive as well, neither.
Good. Very good. So this is Richard Reese. What's the name of your company?
Sugarhill Logistics.
Sugarhill Logistics Dispatching. How do people get a hold of you? If someone wanted to contact you and get some advice from you, say, hey man, I'm kind of stuck in this area. I saw you on the YouTube channel, Speaking to Charles, and you seem to be doing pretty well. What can you tell me about this? Is there some way people can reach you, like an email, phone number, website, perhaps? What do you have?
Absolutely. So when you go on Instagram and you find my Gmail Instagram account, Sugarhill Logistics, it has all my information there. So you can message me or send me an email and I'll respond.
Okay. And that's the only means of communicating with you at this point.
And I also have a Facebook page as well, Sugarhill Logistics. You can catch me on there, and on Indeed as well, Sugarhill Logistics LLC.
Since you are an ongoing member, are you part of our Facebook group, the Dispatcher 101?
Absolutely. Yep. From time to time, you might see me post some secrets, only particular for that group. So if you're in the group, you'll know. We don't want to put it out here for everyone. You got to be in the group first. That's and right. You'll see some good information I do add from time to time.
Okay, very good, Rich. I want to thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
This was more valuable. We can add value. I mean, we was talking amongst ourselves, but let's say the light bulb went out. Okay, well, let's add value. Let's give to others who are coming up, like Mr. Reese is, and see where it goes. So
Absolutely.
again, thank you. Any closing words on your side? What do you got for us?
Charles, I appreciate you. You helped me out a lot in this freight logistics industry. I learned a lot from you, and I'm still learning from because like I said, when you're in school, you have more than one teacher. So Charles was my first teacher, and I have other teachers as well, but Charles was the first one. So yeah, never forget, where you started from. And I learned a lot from Charles just watching the free videos. He drops a lot of games. So, you can definitely learn a lot just watching his free videos. Then when you join, you learn even more. And then, he hooks you up with other people like factoring companies, and you get a lot of templates, documents that are well needed. So yeah, Exodus Logistics, y'all put me on the map.
Salute. No problem, brother.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. I thank you for your time. All right.
All right, Charles. See you, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. That was Mr. Richard Reese of Sugarhill Logistics. Just stopping in and giving a status report of what he does to provide value back to the beginning students. If you guys are interested in joining our Dispatcher 101 training for beginners program, you can go to our website, www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com, which is on the screen here. I'm sharing my screen on this page. We have 3 different purchase options. The first one is the training materials only for those individuals who they don't need like live training or to be more in-depth training with us via Zoom. You just want the materials to have templates and stuff to help your already established company. You can purchase the materials. We give you templates and things like that at this price point. And we have a voucher offer too on this price point as well. If you decide to roll over into the ongoing training later, you can claim the voucher and fill that out, and then put your first and last name, email, phone number, and in what program that you request. You did the training materials, right? So we will deduct that cost that you paid for the training from the total cost of the ongoing training. That's the first price point. The second price point is a seminar, a 1-day, 2 hours seminar training. And they are held on every second or fourth Wednesday of each month, okay, at 6 p.m. One of those days, whichever one day you want to come in on. And that price point is there. And the voucher concept is the same. You claim the voucher for the seminar, 1 day, 2 hour, and you could deduct that price if you decide to take your voucher from a seminar training to roll over into the ongoing training. And by the way, both vouchers, you have an unlimited amount of time to decide when you want to, if and when you want to use your vouchers to roll into the ongoing training. You may never use it. You may use it a year from now. But the fact that we have proof that you've purchased either the seminar training or the materials training, then you can use your voucher to roll into the third option, which is the ongoing training, right? Which is right here. Now, with the ongoing training, I need to explain something here because there has been some misconceptions from students here and there. When you enroll into the ongoing training you purchase at whatever purchase price, whether it's the $4.99 single member, which is the base price, right? Or if you can't afford the $4.99, you enroll you can take advantage of the monthly plan, the payment plan with PayPal, 5 months at $120 a month. So that's going to be a little more than the $4.99 because we are allowing you to make your payments in monthly installments for 5 months. So at $120 a month, right? And then there's the third option of the $7.99 for 2 people, 2 for 1, $7.99. Okay. In any of the cases, well, especially the cases with the single member and the 2 for 1, this gets you access. And we have a disclaimer here. It gets you access for the first 30 days. Most people were under the assumption it gave you, once you paid that price, you had access for the year. You could potentially have access for up to a year and beyond, but you get everything free or what's included, I'm sorry, not free, but included in the first 30 days for those price points, right? And then if you decide to continue to have access, then there is a month to month or monthly subscription. And for this year, it's $29.99 per month. That's 30 days after your initial enrollment date, whether you enrolled under the $4.99 or the 5-month. And with the 5-month installment, that doesn't start, the monthly doesn't start until 30 days after your 5th month. You've paid the full price because you went through the installment program. So you did month 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you completed the full installment through the payment plan. And then 1 month after that, then your monthly starts. Okay. If you pay completely upfront, $4.99, 30 days after that initial enrollment date, then if you decide to continue to have access, then the monthly installments start. And then the same holds true for the 2-for-1. Okay. What do you get when you enroll the first 30 days? You get access, you get set up for an email and password to access our members portal. Okay. What's in the members portal? Everything, load boards, Zoom videos. I'll show you what's in the members portal. Okay. This is the members portal. This is what you get for the first 30 days. You get access to the self-paced modules, which contains load boards. You get our orientation with our ebooks, business setup information, consultation referrals. You get to join the Facebook group because now you're an ongoing member. You can only join the Facebook private group if you are enrolled as an ongoing member. Okay, anyone can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, self-paced modules. You get access to the forms and documents, all the templates you need necessary for dispatching. Tools and resources. We have a plethora of tools and resources. I'm not going to click all of this, but training videos library, all of our Zoom trainings, which we have every 2nd and 4th week of each month. In those 2nd and 4th weeks, they are given Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. 2nd and 4th week, 3 times in those weeks on those days. Okay. And it says it on the website under the Zoom training schedule page. So if you go to this, if you're curious to know when the Zoom trainings are and what times and how to access it being an ongoing member, it's right here. Okay. With the calendar, the dates circled and everything. Okay. So our next one will be the 9th. We are in an off week right now. Okay. So with the credentials and everything. Okay. So back to the members portal, you get how-to video series. We have certain how-to videos on specific things that are the most challenging concepts in dispatching starting out from a beginner standpoint. So we made how-to videos to kind of drill down and make it even more specific and granular in video format for you. So where I'm explaining certain things to you, okay? And then we have our ebook series. So this is the members portal. This is what you get when you enroll for that first 30 days of free access, and then 1 month after that initial enrollment date. If you want to continue to have it, then there's a month-to-month subscription. The load boards is in module 2. You get access to like 6 load boards with the username and passwords. What else do you get? Okay. Live Zoom trainings at their scheduled times, load boards, self-paced modules, private Facebook group, everything that I just mentioned. If you wish to continue having access to everything after your first 30 days, however you came in, if you came in directly with the one-time payment, $4.99, then it'll be 30 days after the date that you paid the $4.99. If you came in the payment plan, 5-month payment plan, it'll be 30 days after the 5th month of payment. Okay. And then if you came in the 2-for-1, it'll be 30 days after the initial date of the 2-for-1. In any of those cases, if you decide to continue to have access after that, then the monthly subscriptions comes in. So it's not paying and you get access for the year, it's paying for the 30 days. And if you want to continue, it's a monthly. So that's the caveat to our course. Okay. And there's a disclaimer that says it. And we want you to read the disclaimer so that you understand what that means, so there won't be any confusion in the future. Okay. Now we may be changing the price points coming up, but at least it explains what you get. And we break it down, we give it to you very thoroughly so that you can see what it is. Okay. So that is that. So anyone who's interested in becoming an independent freight dispatcher, wanted to control their own destiny, give back their time freedom, go to www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. This will be on the YouTube channel and other platforms so everyone can see it. But those who are interested in being independent freight dispatchers, setting up their dispatching business, LLC, EIN, business name, and then coming in to get some formal training. This is still by far the lowest dispatching training out here, twice the content, half the price, the blue magic, if you will, of dispatching out here online, period, hands down. So America's #1 dispatcher and freight broker training. We have a freight broker side as well, but wanted to come in and give you some information. One of the students came in and wanted to give a progress report telling how he's doing with Sugarhill Logistics, Mr. Richard Reese, and providing some feedback and letting you know what his strengths are and what he needs to work on. So, because he's growing too, and give you some feedback on the market, you know, things of that nature. So, and then I wanted to explain the enrollment process and the different ways of coming in as well, and showing you our members portal. So hopefully that helped explain some things a little bit. Any questions, I can be reached at the phone number 757-515-1684, the email, exoduslogisticsllc@yahoo.com. In the meantime, see you guys. Have a good evening.